Kyle, did you shit yourself again?
I farted, it stings. Whenever you come to Performance Beach, you're not supposed to park back here, but this is exactly where I park every time.
What the f is that? It looks like a Hot Wheels.
It does.
So today we're buying a boat.
Today we are not buying a boat. Today we are picking up my X3 that's been broken for way too long. And we're also picking up the final unit of the year. So if you didn't catch it, I bought a new 22 X3 and I broke it at 9 hours.
I got a Snapchat from like a year ago, and your old X3 had 1,000 miles like
already
around this time period.
87 miles. Why did everybody move around? You guys got me confused as hell. All right, so basically my parts finally came in for the X3. So I called Dan and said, anyway, you can have this thing ready on Saturday. That was 2 days ago, and he's like, I don't think we can, maybe do it next week. And then I said, well, let me know. I'll see what I can make happen, a little bribery. And he called me back. He said, I'll do it on Friday. So it got done yesterday. Now we get to ride today. I left you a present on here, Bob.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. I want to see my broken piece.
Here you go.
Oh, they gave you like the whole enchilada.
So this is where I found the play. So we had a little bit. The intake.
Yeah, because I reached in here through the intake.
You can really feel it.
Well, you can feel it. Look, feel it.
Yeah.
You feel the wobble?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of play back and forth. Now where does that? Okay, so it just dumps it right into the exhaust.
Yeah, it dumps it into your exhaust. So
So the reason the turbo wasn't working is because it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know why it wasn't. I
You just put that in.
I just put that in.
The reason the turbo wasn't working, in Luke's definition, it's because it wasn't working. Real definition, it's because Danny broke it.
Yeah.
Didn't I say when I picked it up, I was like, you just left everything hand tight to see how far I can make it?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go break things, or not, hopefully. So I just spent a lot of money. So you need to like, comment, and subscribe, please. Alright, so we figured we'd tell you about the new unit. I'm really happy with it. I already kind of knew what I was getting into. I've had it on wait for a little while now. They're a little bit different than what I'm used to. I've always had Outlanders, so the Renegade's a new change. You guys seem to like them. I'm excited to get this, ride it for the first time. So we're gonna go do that later on today. The 22's got a few things different. Biggest thing I'd say is the front diff lock versus like the 20 models. And now these have 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and then front diff lock. They're still running the Fox shocks, still the same snorkel kit, radiator. The dashboard honestly looks a little bit different. I don't know if I have more options on here. We can go look at a 21 and see. Other than that, they're pretty much the same as the 21 models. I know they worked out a few little bugs in them. Everything's pretty much the same. They finally come out with a new color. So they've had the black and the Mata green for way too long, and I hate that color. Then the yellow, and I kind of like the yellow, but I really love this tan. People always talk about and say that these have a shorter wheelbase. These are actually the same frame as the Outlanders, with a few differences for like plastic bolt-up locations and whatnot. You can get these in the 1000. You can't get the XMRs in a 1000 on an Outlander. So that's the big difference. But once you honestly get to an 850 or 1000, the power's pretty much the same. You just can't put it to the ground. You're just spinning tires the whole time. We got a whole 2 hours on it. We had to pop a wheelie, but I think literally the only way to break this thing is to go take this thing to Busco. But you better go check out the next video, because breaking this thing the right way at Busco is gonna be an experience.
You happy?
Bring me the camera.
All right, so it's my boy Garrett's birthday. We gotta get your reaction. Have you been in one before? No. Oh, perfect. Oh, way. So that was only a 2-wheel drive launch. Oh gosh, here we go. All right guys, so we're pulling back up to the house. We're about 2-3 minutes out. We didn't get to film too much at the dealership. We were kind of in a rush. We did stop at Busco and we made a sick ass first video on the 2022. I had thrown Luke and Julius in the X3 and even got my pops to drive it around for a little bit, which actually was pretty sick. If you guys are watching this video as it comes out, it'll be Friday for you guys, and then the Busco video of the first ride with the Renegade will be coming out Wednesday. You definitely want to go catch that video because YouTube has been lacking on the new mudding content. My boy Joe has been carrying YouTube for mudding content since I haven't had anything to ride for a little while, and Braden's been playing around with his pit 4-wheelers. So, but we're back, boys. We are back. So I hope you guys are as hyped as I am with the new Renegade, and let's get back to the house and take you guys for a little bit more of a tour, and let's go over the units and definitely lay down some power.
We just recorded that shot of him going by. Now I have to run all the way back to the trailer.
All right, so we just got back to the house, and I think we're gonna go over the units and get an opinion on them. And all right, so we just got Finley. So we just got back to the house, and we're gonna go over the units. And thanks for interrupting my video, buddy. We'll start to give you guys my opinion on what I think of them and how the first ride went, and start to see what you guys start. And start to Hello. This is Finn. If you don't know Finn, he's the mascot of the channel. He's a kind of dumb golden retriever. He's got 3 brain cells and they're all fighting for 5th place. So basically, we just got back from the dealership. We picked up a 2022 Can-Am Renegade. They don't want to see me, they want to see the unit. So we picked up a 2022 Can-Am Renegade 1000 XMR. A lot of letters. What all that means is it's basically badass. So this is the baddest 4-wheeler on the market in the mud industry. If you're trying to go fast, if you're trying to have plenty of power, rip around, do whatever, this is what you want. It's already ready for the mud. That's literally what XMR stands for, extra mud ready. So this thing comes stock, snorkeled out, vent lines are already up here. The only bad thing about this, and I don't know why they do it, is the rad hasn't been relocated, so that's still down the mud. We will be planning to move that up. We will be getting a custom bumper for this thing. As you'll see in the next video, I was up to here in my waders in the 50-50 hole at Busco, and if you know that hole, it is a deep hole, but it's a tall, I mean, you can sit in 4.5 foot of water fine and just idle. It also comes with some 30-inch ITP cryptids. They're not the best tire, but they're a great all-around tire. They're not, like, Assassinators are definitely going to do better in the mud, but these are a great all-around if you do some trail riding too, which I do. So I really don't mind these tires. It's not all about the tire, it's about the rider too. A few other things I like about this: comes stock with a 3,500 pound winch, which is actually really beefy for a 4-wheeler that doesn't weigh that much. But a 3,500 pound winch, that's something you usually see on a side-by-side, so it's sick to see that Can-Am's willing to spend the money and put them on these Renegades. They also come with aluminum skid plates underneath. One thing I find silly is they don't have a back rack, and so when you're stuck in the mud and you're trying to wrestle this thing, I kept finding myself grabbing the taillight, which obviously doesn't do anything, and then you gotta reach down in the mud and grab this. So we will be doing a Lucky 7 rack. We're up to 23 miles and 3.5 hours on this new unit. As to be expected with a brand new unit. Obviously I haven't had any problems yet, been really happy. These newer units, I think the 21s and the 22s have the front diff locker. If you've never checked that out, it's super crisp. And the electronic throttle, which if you've never ran a Can-Am with electronic throttle, they are the nicest thing in the world. Once you've used it, you don't want to go back to a regular cable driven throttle. So factory, these things are pretty quiet compared to some aftermarket exhausts. In realm of all other 4-wheeler brands, these things actually do have some throw to them. Up close, they're pretty mean sounding when they're just sitting here idling. Everybody always tells me to put exhaust on my stuff. I really do like the quiet sound of stock exhaust just because I'm not a fan of loud noises. But I think since we're going to be building this unit completely, we'd be a fool not to do an exhaust. So we're not going to leave it stock. Actually, I've been working with a few different companies. So we got Lucky 7 sending some goodies out. RJWC already sent some goodies out. And Empla 2 Fab is actually going to hook up some bumpers for this thing. Other than that, I just got to figure out what I'm going to do for some wheels and tires. If you guys want to drop down some suggestions. And I think we're going to have a pretty badass build right here. This is BRP, it stands for Barbarian. I don't know what the fuck it stands for actually. And you might also ask, Kyle, what is going on with this unit on the back of the trailer? If you haven't watched past videos, I bought this after I totaled my 2021. Rode it 2 times, got 8 hours on it, and had a malfunction with the turbo. So it turned out to be the wastegate was jamming up, not letting my boost, and it actually was backwards boosting into the intake, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, I had no boost, I couldn't go over 30. So this has been sitting at the dealership waiting for a new turbo wastegate unit because it all comes as one. She's all put back together and she is a prime ripper. If you've never been in an X3, if you ever get the chance, they scoot. All my friends are amazed when they ride in it, and then when I let them drive it, and they're like, holy shit, they've never been in anything like that. Actually, this isn't the only unit we're gonna build. We also have some parts coming for this. They're gonna take a little bit longer to get here because stuff's on back order. We got some OEM parts coming, like a windshield, a different roof coming, some other minor little things from BRP, and then we've also got some custom aftermarket stuff. RPM Powersports sent out their exhaust with the cutout, which I ran on my last unit. They are so sick because literally if you just hit a button, it'll open up the straight pipe and they sound badass. And one other thing that RPM Powersports snuck into the box was a blow-off valve. And of course, if you got a turbocharged vehicle, why not have a blow-off valve? These things sound sick. Between the cutout and how loud they are and just the throatiness of them, and then the blow-off valve on top of that, oof, they sound so good. It's a great combo. We also got CT Raceworks coming in with front bumper, upper and lower controllers, basically all the suspension parts on this. So when we get out to the trail, we're not breaking things. So really the only thing that I can break now is my belt, and Can-Am fixed that with the new P-Drive clutches. If you haven't seen any videos on that, go check out my first video of buying this and I go all over that. So we're gonna load both of these, probably do some comparisons because this thing is quick as hell. This thing is quick as hell. So basically enough talking. I know you guys want to see a little bit of riding. Let's get these things unloaded and get a first review of the ride. Oh man, we have been driving all day, but we got the units home. Actually, the dealership I deal with is Performance East. If you are in the North Carolina area, my boys over at Performance East would love to hook you up and help you out. They've always been good to me. Not a plug for them, but definitely a sincere thank you to everybody over there. Oh yeah, one thing I do not like, and I've had to get used to, is you have to engage sport mode every time you want to ride these things. Literally every time you turn the key off, you have to re-engage it, and it's kind of annoying, and I wish I could bypass it. Hi Luke. Oh, I finally cleaned my shop. I so could wick donuts in here, 100%. My shop's been dirty for like 3 weeks, and when I say dirty, it's really not that dirty, but I'm just kind of OCD about it. Let's see if we can whip a donut in here. Ah! Nope. If I move that, I could do it. Oh yeah, all day. All day. Oh, ah! It's like really tight. Oopsie, sorry Fabian, I hit your models, Matt. Gotta christen the new shop with the new machine. Hopefully it's only in there to do donuts, not to be getting worked on. Gotta fix the floor mat. That was tight. Like really tight. I was really scared I was gonna catch the pool table or catch the like side right there. All right, let's go play around the trails for a second. They're not very fun trails, but they're good for in the backyard. Luke, do you want to do a race? All right. That X3 is stupid fast. They top out at 90. So if I take off from right here, basically if I take off from this white fence, by the time I hit to that far white fence, I'm hitting 90. These I think are governed at 65 because they're the XMR model, which RJWC has their little flash box, which gets rid of that. But I'm curious to see how this thing holds up. That thing's 200 horsepower and weighs 1,600 pounds. This is, I think, 91 horsepower and 800 pounds. So I mean, the weight to power ratio is pretty much there, but that thing just squats down and lays down the power. Just two-wheel drive. Ready, set, go. Oh, I got him off the jump. Oh my God. So 65 right there. 67 is the limiter. Like by the time I hit here in the X3, I was hitting 90. He let off way back there. I think I jumped the start a little bit, but honestly, it held up pretty good. I mean, it's a freaking four-wheel drive mud four-wheeler. We gotta take these things to Cody's and go riding. Who's calling me? Tim Purcell. Hello. Harassing the neighbors.
I'm about to come to your house. Yet?
Did I eat yet? Not yet.
Well, I'm gonna come to your house.
Alright, bye. Should we go for longest wheelie? Oh. Ooh, that hurt. One more. I just run out of room. It's not that I can't ride it longer. I just... This thing's pulling to the right too much. So this thing's fast, not as fast as the X3 obviously. She drifts, as you've seen in the barn. She does good in mud. I don't have any mud on the property to show you, so you'll have to watch the next video for that. Oh, I made some new trails. So I've lived here about 6 months now. Like this is all woods, and so we've slowly been trying to like make trails and stuff. I want to clear all this out and make some jumps back here and kind of do like, I don't know if I want to do a pit bike track. Definitely maybe a few jumps for the side-by-side. Like been slowly kind of just working all these trails, and my property goes all the way back down in this back corner. Well, actually, most of these trails were made by the shitty Crown Vic I bought, and we just plow things over with it. Well, you can't fit through here, but I made a little like river run. It's a good thing Tim called me and asked if I wanted food. We need to hurry up and get that thing street legal so we can take it to get food. I forgot. I didn't even mention the Corbin's custom turn signal kit. So I got the LEDs, those Fang LEDs replaced. So those will be my turn signals, and then obviously the rear will be my other turn signals. So those will be amber and white. I will say one thing I don't like about the Renegade is the turning radius. I mean, mainly it's the big tires, but the turning radius kind of sucks. I wish this wasn't so rocky and this could get dug out as like a nice mud hole, because really it's not that deep. Like it's not even barely floorboard deep, but it's too rocky to make mud. We work with what we got. Actually, there's a good mud section over there, which I'm thinking the more and more we ride, it might get turned up and like dug out a little bit. Maybe like a little bounty hole over there or something. Yeah, so I'm slowly just making trails. It's not really that fun, but for 10 minutes, rip around, something to do. At least it's in the backyard. I've got 7 acres to play with, so you guys got to give me some ideas what to do. I think about 3.5 of it's woods. So this is what I'm thinking. Like, there's a little bit of a natural river that comes through here when it rains. I'm thinking like if we dig this out, get this to be like a nice little bounty area. I don't know, all this area all stays low and pretty muddy. Where is Luke at? Oh, dude, I just watched that. It's probably kind of hard to hold a camera and drive at the same time.
I didn't have the seatbelt on. I floored it. What the hell?
If you don't put the seatbelt on in the X3, it'll only do 13 miles an hour. Whoop. But I gotta make it wider because the X3 doesn't fit down, like, it only fits down the main trails. Really, I just need a brush hog. I like the random car parts from the Crown Vic from taking it through these trails. Here, I'll go take you over there and show that. Oh, see that stick just fly up? So this is my $150 Crown Vic I bought. This was the replacement X3 for a minute. My biggest problem is keeping tires on it because I always pop them, but this thing loves rubbing trees. That thing finally died. Honestly, I thought the transmission was gonna go in it, and then I was like, maybe the motor will go in it because we all just hold it to rev limiter and I would just drive around with it in second. It was a starter. The starter broke. If I put a starter in that and a battery, it would start right up, but I'm too cheap to put a $70 starter in a car I spent $150 on, so. But like ripping that's why all these trees have rub marks on them, because like this wasn't a trail and I just started mashing stuff over with the Crown Vic. Woo! Just tearing it up, boys. Woo! I almost hit so many trees right there. Oh, just seeing how close I can get and drift to the trees.
Oh my God. I should have expected that. Oh my God.
These trails were actually a lot of fun in the old X3 because it was so narrow I could fit it. You could literally throw a drift through this whole entire thing and back out. Woo! Just stirring up the leaves. That's how you make trails, boys. Ray was talking about making some trails with the dirt bikes at his deer club. I told him all you gotta do is take the Outlander down there and just romp through the woods a few times and it'll break in a new trail.
I will say my only critique though about the 2022, and they're still using halogens.
Yeah, but it's okay because we got some LEDs to put in this girl and some halos. I think we should put snorkels on it, like just for safety.
Well, if you put snorkels, you're gonna say just for safety, but then that's gonna like tempt.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't want to. I want to put snorkels on it just for safety, but then it's gonna tempt me, and you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, you got snorkels, go deep." But I mean, it's not fun to go deep. These are fun to go over the water. These are fun to go through the water.
These aren't fun in the mud because once you're stuck.
Yeah, once you're stuck, you're beat. Yeah, exactly. This you can wrestle out, and then you're sitting there waiting for somebody else to hook up to you, and it's like, this is stupid. That's why you have mud unit, go fast, drift, jump unit. It's perfect world.
You just gotta spend a lot of money.
Yeah. Guys, I'm out of money. There's no more toys coming. Please watch my videos. I'm currently broke. Everything I've made between YouTube and my business that I own has been reinvested into building my YouTube. So maybe one day I can just do YouTube. Nah, honestly, I'll probably still keep doing my business thing because I really enjoy it. I like what I do. I'm a remodeling contractor. I really like the projects that I do, but I wouldn't mind scaling it back. Oh, Timmy's here in the 6.0. Here we got pop a wheelie. 1 yard wheelie. Ah! He's back crazy. You gotta get used to this thing. Oh. Still going. Still going. All right, out of the room. All right, guys, let's go get some food because I am starving. Hi, Timmy. You're missing some paint. What's up, buddy? Why you got a random axle back here? You don't even have anything that takes axles for the Razor that you sold? I think that's gonna conclude the buying of the Renegade video. If you guys don't mind, please drop down and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are in the North Carolina area, like I said, check out Performance East. They're awesome guys. They're also right near Busco. So if you're at Busco and you break stuff, give them a call. They probably got the parts. Also, Busco Mud Bash is May like 12th to the 15th, whatever that weekend. Luke is making so much noise. Mud Bash, May 17th at Busco Beach. I'll be there. I know a handful of my friends will all be there. So if you got something to ride, come out. It's a great time. It got up like 5 seconds after. All right, bye guys.
God! That was freaking close. Literally, we shut the cameras off, and he wasn't happy with his result earlier, so he still has to continue. Oh, wait!
Dude, I nipped it. I don't know, I nipped it with the bumper.
Don't let Chuck see